Meeting to order. Chris, will you lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now is the appropriate time for visitors in the audience to be recognized and to speak on items both on the agenda and of general concerns to the patrons of the Green River Schools. There will be a limit of 3 minutes for an individual and 5 minutes for a group spokesperson. No speaker shall speak more than twice on any issue. The board is legally obligated to maintain confidentiality concerning district personnel, and therefore matters concerning district personnel will not be discussed. Is there anyone who wants to talk? Okay, we'll move on.
Oh, wait.
Oh, just kidding. Sorry.
So do you want to do this at the regular board meeting or at the recreation board?
The regular.
Okay, yep, that'll be in about 15 minutes.
I thought I was. Thank you.
Okay, you're all right.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So move.
Moved by Dave,
Second.
second by Dan.
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to remove 7.02.
Moved by Steve. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Brenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The amended agenda passes. And can we get a motion to approve the agenda, or never mind. Oh, we just need to vote on the amended agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. I need a motion to approve for approval of the consent agenda items.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by Tom, second by Dave. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We have no district goals or leadership at this time, no bid requests. We'll move on to 7.01, consider approval for the GRHS gym floor refinishing project. Doug Hamel.
So everybody's probably seen the new gym floor rendition, and we will be requesting in the amount of $49,750 for Croftbeck Floors to do that project.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by Steve, second by Brenda. Any discussion?
Time frame on this?
June.
First week in June.
Okay.
They'll start.
And when do they expect to have it done?
By the end of June.
Okay, perfect. So won't affect the summer stuff.
It will in June, but
Yeah,
not in July.
yeah, okay.
Any other
Perfect.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to 7.03, consider approval of the budget amendment. Katie Harder.
Hello, Chairman Castilian, Superintendent Behringer, and trustees. We are amending the 23-24 rec board budget in order to proceed with the aquatic center timing system and video board to start prior to July 1st to have it done for the fall season. Thank you.
Can I get a motion for approval?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by Brenda, second by Dave. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to 7.04, presentation of preliminary budget for 2024.
Okay. You have before you the 24-25 preliminary budget. As you know, the Sweetwater County School District number 2 annually by statute can approve up to 1 mil levy for this rec board. This is the 14th year. Revenues are projected to raise $1,361,594 based on the projected increase of the district's assessed valuation of 4.4%. With the interest, it's a total revenue of $1,442,594. Of that, reoccurring expenses are 900,628. This includes the 24-25 salary benefit increases and a new midday lifeguard. The district grants are 403,750. Community grants are 112,527 for a total expense of 1,416,905. This includes 109,253 that is set aside for the turf fields, with a fund ending balance of 163,309. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to, oh, we don't have to approve that, do we?
Yeah.
Oh, can I get a motion to approve the preliminary budget for 2024-25?
Motion to approve as presented.
Oh.
Motion by Tom, second by Brenda. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. And with that, we will adjourn our meeting.
Into order. Mr. Eastman, I'm going to pick on you tonight. Matt, would you lead us in the pledge tonight, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Could have been me though, but it wasn't. All right, thank you, Matt. First on our agenda is a public comments. Now's the appropriate time for visitors of the audience to be recognized to speak on items both on the agenda and of general concerns to the district. A limit of 3 minutes for an individual, 5 for a group spokesperson. No speaker shall speak more than twice on any issue. The board is legally obligated to maintain confidentiality concerning district personnel. Therefore, matters concerning the district personnel will not be discussed. There's anybody want to talk to the board tonight? Marlene, welcome.
Chairman, Superintendent, and Board. I want to bring up the fact that when we tabled the other items last meeting, I think that was wise when it came to the Title IX that's in dispute right now. And so that would be ADA, ADAE, and ADAR. So what I like to talk about this month is are the forms that you have to sign. Item 10.4, ACARE1, witness disclosure form. 10.05, consider approval of new policy. It says on the agenda sex harassment, but it should be, I think, sex discrimination complaint form. And last, 10.14, consideration of new policy ACARE3, sex harassment complaint form, which I did not find, by the way, 10.14 on the website as a proposed policy, but I did able to click on it on the agenda. So when it comes to my question is, were the definitions of sex discrimination on these forms, the sex harassment and sex discrimination and sex harassment, were that those names determined prior to or after the Title IX ruling from President Biden? And on these forms, on the bottom, it says witness form should be sent to Title IX coordinator, Monroe Avenue, Green River. As such, all forms should be tabled immediately based on the fact that Wyoming has now joined numerous other states, a majority of the states in the nation, suing the Biden administration regarding the recent Title IX ruling. So if I go to the agenda and click on any one of these three, it will bring me first to an initial link. So let's just take E1 first, administrative procedures. It says for sexual harassment, it should be witness disclosure form, but regardless, it's investigation. And it also says after that WSBA 4.9.2024. So I'm just wondering if these will come down for Wyoming State Board Association, or if this is something you had put in. Okay, next one, E2, administrative procedure for the sex discrimination investigation. That's also noted WSBA 4.9.24. The last one, administrative, that's ACARE3, administrative procedures for sex harassment investigation. I couldn't find it on the website, only on the agenda. Could I click on it? So my question is, I have a couple of questions and statements. If a student truly is harassed, it shouldn't be taken lightly, but frivolous charges should not be allowed. Sometimes kids don't have the best judgment and may easily pull in a buddy to serve as supporting witness. Perhaps hormones may play a part, whereas a student is emotionally charged and makes an accusation, not based on fact, but emotions and feelings. But once a complaint is put on paper, that complaint is concrete. I'm concerned that by filing numerous affidavits, which these documents seem, document forms seem to mirror, due to agreeing that all the information on this form is accurate and true, the best of my knowledge, along with signature and date, that frivolous claims will weaken and denigrate the integrity of what an official affidavit holds, making the historical claimant process weak and meaningless. By using such of form, sexual discrimination, harassment should not be dealt with in-house, especially when it deals with children. School districts are not a legal authority. Any valid discrimination or harassment charges should be immediately forwarded to law enforcement and dealt with in a court of law if necessary. Otherwise, the school district can abuse what it believes as its authority to sweep under the rug any issues that might damage the school district's image or that of a school district employee. Neither the school district personnel nor the district attorney should be handling these issues. Will these forms be legally binding? If these forms are legally binding, then school employees have no legal authority and no jurisdiction over the school system. If so, the district is making itself the judge and jury and governing law in criminal matter, which should be handled by the law, not the schools. Otherwise, the school district and school district attorney have a conflict of interest. In all cases, there's potential for many unintended consequences. And how these forms are currently written, these forms appear to give the school district authority to deal with possible criminal acts. All formal complaints should begin with the school resource officer and law enforcement, if warranted, forwarded for investigation. If a complaint moves forward, it should be dealt with in a public court, not through district-funded attorney. Finally, and most importantly, where do parents come in? And how and when are parents notified when the discrimination or harassment charge has been filed, whether their child is either the claimant or the discriminator harasser? So, any questions?
I believe our policies indicate that if the administrators feel is level of being law enforcement being brought in, they do that.
It's not handled in-house?
Well, they have to do. So I guess what you're saying is if I come forward and say, Craig, you sexually harassed me, he immediately calls the law and the law gets involved. Is that what you want?
I'm stating that if that's the case, or is it handled in-house where your attorney, school attorney would handle any issues?
My understanding of this is if somebody brings forward a complaint, the administration will investigate the complaint, and the complainant, I would think if I was the one being accused, I would want to see it in writing of what the complaint is instead of verbal, because verbal can be construed a lot of different ways. So if I'm the one that has a complaint filed against me from somebody, I would prefer, me personally, to have it in writing so I can see what the complaint is instead of given to me verbally. It seems to me that that's a better way of doing it. But it's my understanding that in this district, if they feel it's legitimately a sexual harassment that's against the law, they will get the law involved.
Okay, so there's a couple issues of it being a lot of frivolous ones that are actually on paper.
Hence the reason why I think it
Okay.
needs to be in writing, because in verbally, that's when it becomes frivolous.
Okay, so, and then my question again was, will these have anything to do with Title IX, meaning should these be on hold as well as the other policies that have been put on hold?
That I'll defer to Mr. Foos. Yes.
The current complaint forms that the district board of trustees is considering for a second reading tonight fit under the existing policies, not the ones that the state of Wyoming is challenging in regard to Title IX. On the agenda, Marlene, there is a typo because one policy deals with sexual harassment. The other complaint form is to be a sexual discrimination. And the third one is the witness. If you look at the agenda, they both say, I believe, harassment. So one is discrimination, one is harassment, the other is a witness form, and they fit under existing policies. And if there is an issue with a child or a staff member in the district, these policies need to be accessible and able to be found within policy, and that's why you see them there.
Okay, so I want to make sure I got this right. 10.14 says sex harassment complaint form, which is the same as 10.05. Which one's got to be changed?
The very bottom one.
And what should it say?
Mary, please scroll down. So 10.14 should be sex discrimination. Okay.
Okay, so we have a sex harassment complaint at 10:05. We have a witness disclosure form at 10:04, and we have a sex discrimination complaint form at 10:14.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Would you address where the definition of sex harassment prior to Title IX?
Okay, I will. The current definitions, the district is going to continue on the 2019-2020 definitions as set forth at that time under the Trump administration. The district in the state of Wyoming is going to work under those definitions and see how it unfolds. So there will be no changes to the new definitions at this time.
So these forms follow current policy.
Correct.
And why are we, can you explain to us why we're doing this?
A month ago, Chairman Core, the Board of Trustees asked Brian Farmer and his team to come down and do a workshop, and we have set that up. Per a recommendation from them and their team, there needs to be an avenue where someone can find a form to fill out, to turn into the district if there is an issue. The current issue that the district is trying to address at this time, if someone's having a problem, they need to be able to find a complaint form within policy. And this helps patrons and students and staff members locate a policy or an avenue for complaint within the policy. That's what these forms are devised to help us with.
Okay, and then do you agree with my statement that if it becomes, if the administration feels that this is a legal matter, it goes to the county attorney or whatever form you guys go with?
Your statement is correct, Chairman Core. At times, there can be tandem investigations. The authorities, the SRO officers, or even an independent investigator within the school district. There probably are examples where it may not rise to a level of a violation of a law. And so the SROs or the authorities may choose to not get involved, while the district would continue and pursue an investigation because there may be a policy violation still.
Anybody else want to pipe up? Okay. Thank you, Marlene. Please identify yourself.
Good evening, Superintendent, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Carolyn St. John. I'm a local grandmother raising an 8 and 11-year-old boys here in Green River. And I just
God bless you for that.
thank you. I just want to start. I want to piggyback on Marlene, what she was speaking about, and also some clarification, couple questions about policy development. I'm just going to start by citing some regulations per Title 21-3-110, duties of boards of trustees. The Board of Trustees in each school district shall prescribe and enforce regulations and policies for its own government and for the government of the schools under its jurisdiction. Rules and regulations shall be consistent with the laws of the state and rules and regulations of the state board and the state superintendent, and shall be open to public inspection. Section B, School Board Governance and Operations, File BF, Policy, Board Policy Development. The board considers policy development one of its chief responsibilities, and a careful and orderly process shall be used in examining such proposals. File BBA, School Board Powers and Duties. In carrying out its legislative functions, the board shall act primarily as a policy-making body. Now, I would like clarification on the creation of policy, and is it then the board's responsibility? Does the board seek outside entities to assist in creating policy? Because citizens do expect local control. And question, why is the notation of WSBA on the complaint forms proposed as policy? And then the second bit would be regarding Senate File SF0009, the parental rights in education. I do realize that the ADA, ADA-E, and ADA-R are being delayed at this time. I would encourage the board that when you are ready to submit the policies for approval, that you keep in mind the rights of parents per that Senate file. As stated per the Senate file, Parents' Rights in Education, and which states each school district shall not adopt or implement any form of informal rules, policies, practices, or procedures that prohibit school district's personnel from notifying a student's parent or guardian about whatever the issue may be. And then when it comes to notifying parents, it states you must obtain written or electronic permission. This means opt in, not opt out. And I would suggest you notify by text and or email, as we all know that students tend to forge parent signatures for whatever reasons. Please take into consideration the above concerns when writing policy regarding parental notification. Both emails and texts can contain a link which can take the parent to a site for specific communication. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You are correct that the Board of Trustees has 3 jobs. We set policy, we make sure the superintendent and his employees under him or her, but in this case it's a his. And we set the budget. That's what we do. That's our function. Just as a side note, I guess. And we appreciate your information. Anybody else would like to speak to the board? There being none, we'll move.
It might be beneficial for her to understand how we set policies. So we have a policy committee, a Super 8 committee where we have board members, we have staff involved, and then we work with the WSBA as a leader in our state on setting these policies. They work with school districts across the state. So they're just kind of a helper for us as we go through these policies and the changes that are being pretty much mandated for us to implement. So we do have a formal policy committee that looks at these and evaluates them before they come to the board.
And then, of course, before they are approved, we have to have our legal team also look at them and make sure they meet legal muster. So there's a lot of vetting going on with this. And I totally agree with you on local control. They're trying to take that away from us more and more and more. And I assure you that this Board of Trustees has a lot of local control when it comes to policy. Like she mentioned, we have a Super 8 committee. We include the employees in that decision-making process. So, but I am too concerned about local control.
I would strongly encourage you to come to Brian Farmer's presentation. He's amazing. He's with the Wyoming Department of Education, or Wyoming School Board Association, I'm sorry. He's an attorney. He deals with all of these, and bring all your questions because Brian will be able to answer.
And we'll do that next board meeting, second Tuesday in June at 5 o'clock. And if we have to move our board meeting back past 6, we can do that. But at 5 o'clock, Brian Farmer will be here to discuss all this stuff that we're dealing with. Is that good? Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else? Anybody else on the board want to say anything? Okay, we'll move on. Thank you very much for your comments tonight. First up is a recognition of the math count state contestants. Duwan, can I say it? Gundis. Welcome.
He was just here.
Hey, Josh, can you get Duwan? Oh, come on. Welcome, Mr. Gundis. We appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank you very much, board, and we are pleased to be invited to come. We just wanted to highlight some of the achievements of Math Counts. We rekindled the program in the 2020-21 school year. Since then, every year we've had students going to states and even a student that made it to nationals. So I just wanted to bring up a third of our team. We've grown quite a bit over the years. Mr. Wheeler, Mrs. Hoover, myself are running it currently. We've had students currently at the Math Counts program. There are 2 different divisions. There's Math Counts and there's the Wyoming State Math Contest. At Math Counts, which is a national program, we meet from November through April, competing every week, practicing every week. And we had, let's see, Taryn Tyler Davis, Andrew Bosner, Stevie Weiner, and Caden Olson make it to states this year as a team. They compete in 4s. PJ Lovato was our alternate who actually went in Caden Olson's place because he was away. What did I miss?
He was on a cruise.
Correct. And for the Wyoming State Math Contest in our chapter, the eighth graders of Tara and Tyler Davis, who else? It was Andrew and Stevie took first place for eighth grade in our chapter, with Taryn taking first place individually. So we just want to give a chance to meet them and recognize their achievements.
Outstanding job. Good job. Is there parents here that want a picture?
Parents want a picture. They stay outside?
Okay, come on up.
Okay.
Come on up. Have the students come on up.
Right here.
And the coaches. One more time. Good job.
Good job, guys.
So much coming. I appreciate it. Good job. Okay, next up is recognition of the 2024 Wyoming Young Author Roundup Award winners. Shauna Mandros. Shauna, welcome. By the way, I attended it. Outstanding job.
Thank you.
You did a great job with those ceremonies. They're
Thank you.
awesome.
I had a lot of help.
They were
but
good though.
Yeah.
But somebody had to lead it and I know it was you.
I would like to invite all of our winners that are here tonight to come stand up here with Mrs. Hemphill and I. I know we have
Young authors, come on in.
young authors. Gotcha. So thank you. Good evening, Superintendent, Chairman, and the board. I have to tell you, we have some extremely talented writers in our school district. And with that, we have some outstanding writing teachers who support them. So I know that we are here to appreciate and acknowledge these guys, but I would also like to give a shout out to their teachers and their parents for their support, especially Mrs. Hemphill, who has mentored half of these winners. So thank you. Thank you and congratulations for, putting yourself out there and committing to this and sticking with it. We've had a huge return. So of our building winners, and then those winners went on to a district contest, and from their county, our county sent on, I believe, 15 winners from Green River and roughly 22 from Rock Springs. And then returning with first place state winners, we have 8 from Green River and 2 honorable mentions. So that's bigger than any participation or anything I've seen in recent years. So I actually got their state ribbons. I'm going to have Victoria Hemphill hand out their ribbons. So in first place, nonfiction second grade, we have Caleb Patterson. 6th grade nonfiction, Keegan Patterson. 7th grade nonfiction, Brayley McKen. 8th grade fiction, Tyler Davis. 11th grade nonfiction, Reese Eastman. 12th grade fiction, Gavin Harsha. 12th grade nonfiction, Maisie Peter, and 12th grade poetry, Bethany Farmer, all first place state winners. And then coming back with an honorable mention in our first year of graphic novels in our district, Bailey Moon, 3rd grade. Madeline Greaves, 8th grade nonfiction. Congratulations and thank you again.
Let's get a picture real quick.
Yeah.
Come on up.
All right.
Kind of squeeze together. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Jen, you're at.
Great job.
Good job. Okay, next up is our recognition of the Skills USA state winners. Tim Cassidy, Aaron Locker, Rosie Gottfredson, and Josh Lewis, and Marissa Kalinsky. I get everybody right?
Sounds good.
Timothy, welcome. And Tim, you're welcome to put a levity in this if you'd like. I know you're
I know.
pretty good at the microphone.
We got a chance, our CTE department got a chance to go to Casper last month to the State Skills USA competition. And every year they get a chance to go up and compete against other people all over the state in all our different areas, which is what you're about to see. A lot of other kids went. We brought our placers tonight. In my area, we got to compete in the cabinet making contest. We've been very fortunate the last few years to have amazing cabinet makers. And they get a chance to go and they get a detailed plan of a cabinet. They get 8 hours to do it in and a limited amount of wood. And so they can't make many mistakes. And so this year we got a chance to take 2 outstanding woodworking students. Garrett Smith is with me tonight. Chris Wilson's on his way to state track, or he'd be here tonight. Chris ended up 3rd place in the state in cabinet making, done an amazing job on his cabinet. He went last year and got 5th. And so he was a little more ready to see what was going to happen, but he did a really good job. And Garrett ended up 2nd place in the state and did an amazing job on a cabinet. When I looked at the cabinet that they were going to make, the only thing I could think of was, I'm glad I'm not making that thing. It was tough, the toughest one we've ever had. And so they designed it, a professional cabinet maker designed it, and these guys had to follow their detailed plans, and they did an amazing job. And that's Garrett Smith and Chris Wilson.
Members of the board, thank you very much for allowing me to be here tonight and also present my, well, they weren't able to show up tonight, but we took 2nd and 3rd in automotive refinishing. There was about 6 kids total there, along with the college. I got to see all of the college level projects from Wyotech and everybody else, how they did. And ours were really, really close as far as that was concerned. Our students did really good. I don't know what else to say.
All right, thank you.
I don't have anybody standing next to me.
That's right.
Unfortunately.
You have the
So,
names of the kids?
Carson Hensley and Spencer Wright. Spencer Wright took 3rd. Carson Hensley took 2nd.
Okay, great. Thank you. Appreciate it. Welcome.
Hello, I'm Miss Gottfredson. I teach welding at Green River High School, and obviously we competed in welding. We didn't get top 3, but the welding competition has grown so greatly in the past 3 years that I've been teaching at Green River High School. It's amazing to see. The numbers went up substantially. They created their own folder in the app even just for welding, which is great. A lot of skilled trades coming out of high school. Aubrey Clark, this was her first ever competition. She placed 11th out of 45 competitors, which is amazing. She did so good. I can't wait for next year to see what she does. Dominic here, he joined us in the middle of, well, maybe 2 months into the first semester, which was a lot for him to take on. He missed all the safety, he missed all of the principles, all that stuff. So when they come in late, everything's kind of thrown at them. And it's like, hey, you got to get through this before you can get out in that welding shop. And he surpassed his peers, never took welding before, wasn't offered at his own school, and he ended up taking 5th out of 33 students. So I'm very proud of them.
All right, good job. Welcome.
Thank you. This year's health science team consisted of Dara Aiken, Lydia Westonsko, Anna Adams, and Madison Jones. Our competitions don't last all day, so my kids usually sign up for more competitions than the rest. So I have a few, let you know how they did. Dara Aiken, who, if you were at graduation, you saw her give a pretty good speech on her own. She competed in job interview. She made it to the final rounds and she placed 8th out of 35 entrants. Lydia Westonsko competed in job skill demo. She demonstrated how a knee injury evaluation would go, and she took 7th out of 25 entrants. Anna Adams competed in the same competition. She taught the judges how to perform sutures or stitches. She took 6th out of 25 entrants. The entire team as a group competed in Health Knowledge Bowl and they took third place, took home a bronze medal. Our best event of the year was CPR and first aid. So Adara took sixth. Lydia missed the podium just barely and took fourth. Enna, in her first year doing this, took third place, and Madison Jones is our state champion in first aid CPR. So apart from the numbers and the outcomes, each of these girls brought their own strengths to the team. So whether it's Adara's fearlessness or Lydia's willingness and eagerness to learn, Enna's positivity and Madison's quiet confidence, they all kind of brought their own special to the team this year. So, and whether they realize it or not, their attitude towards skills and sports med in general has kind of inspired the younger group below them. I've never had so many people interested in doing skills for health science before, and it's mostly because of these girls up here. So thank you for that. And I owe administration, central office, and the board for just allowing us to come to this competition year in, year out. So thank you.
Absolutely. Congrats again.
So in culinary arts, I took Chevy Stanton. He could not be here tonight, but he placed third in plating his dish with it was like pretty much a dinner with a side dish and a homemade bread. And then I also took Hannah Davis in baking and pastry arts. I think that is the hardest competition that they have at Skills, and maybe they won't agree, but in 3 hours, she had to make 12 different rolls, homemade yeast rolls, a baguette, 14 different or 2 different sizes of 14 cookies, homemade hand pies with a homemade dough, a homemade filling, and a glaze on the top. She had to perfectly segment an orange and decorate a whole cake based on the plan that they gave them. She finished. She didn't finish well, but she finished, and that's all I really cared about. And I believe, if I remember, it's been a long week, I believe she got 10th out of, I want to say there was like 16 of them. So in doing all that, I was pretty impressed. So yeah, that's what they did.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Get a picture. Get a picture real quick, guys. Gals, come on up.
For welders.
Congratulations.
Good job. Good job. Good job. Awesome. Oh, okay. Look at Behringer. Three. Okay, thank you. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming. Good job. I think what's amazing really is that a lot of seniors that have graduated have come tonight. That's pretty cool. Next is a recognition of the FFA state accomplishments. Liz Tolman. Welcome, Liz. How you doing? Good, good.
Okay, Chairman Core, Superintendent Behringer, members of the board, we are once again excited to share our FFA's chapter's accomplishments with you. They had their state convention in April. We had a total of 27 members compete in 15 career development events. And just as reminders, I share some of our highlights with you. These guys compete against all the schools within the state, and most of the contests that we do, they have 30+ teams that are also competing with them. So to place in the top 10 is pretty awesome for our kids to do. So some highlights include our veterinary science team of Tacey Fox, Kristen Simcoe, Lily Janota, and Jordan Cundy placing 9th. Our poultry evaluation team of Ivory Neer, Molly Stanton, Ava Kellhofer, Madison Homan placed 7th, and then Ivory Neer was the 6th high individual in the state. Our horse judging team of Lillian Allison, Lillian Duncan, Taylor Hernandez, and Jordan Christensen placed 10th. We had two teams receive gold emblems in the Agri-Science Fair. That was Lindsay Meltzer and Tessa Robinson. They were a team, and then Lily Allison and Molly Stanton were also a team. That qualifies their papers to move on to nationals. And if they place top 10 at the national paper sift, they move on to nationals to do an interview. Our agricultural issues team of Lily Perry, Johnny Myers, Lindsay Meltzer, Kat Bronstein, and Tessa Robinson placed 6th. And then for a 3rd year in a row, our chapter was also a gold emblem chapter and a chapter of the year finalist out of 60 plus FFA chapters. That also qualifies our application for that to move on to nationals as well. We also had 7 FFA members receive their state degree, and this year only 3% of the entire state FFA membership received that, and we had 7 of those students. We also were honored to have one of our members out of 3 from the entire state be on the chapter or the state FFA officer nominating committee. So they allow 3 members within the state to be on that. And Elena Sharp was offered that position, which was really cool that she had a hand in choosing the future leaders of our FFA state organization. So we continue to grow and thrive every year, and we're excited to see what comes next. And here's just a handful of the amazing students that we had at state convention.
Okay, let's come on up. Have a picture. Guys aren't usually shy. Come on.
Right.
All
Good
right.
job, guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Next up is recognition of the Green River High School State Music and Choir recipients, Quinn Kalinsky and Danielle Forbush.
It's just me tonight.
Okay.
Actually.
Quinn, by the
She
way,
couldn't make it.
before you go on, nice job the other night at Green River High School graduation.
Thank you.
2 things. Your speech was very well done and your music was awesome.
Well, thank you. I
That
appreciate
musical thing you did with the band was really spot on.
it. Oh, thanks.
It was good.
Okay.
So,
Well, to continue about the awesome music things, every year, the choir and bands attend a music adjudication or our annual music assessment. And this year for choir, the ensembles, so the larger groups, received 3 superior ratings. Oh, let me back up actually. They can receive a list of ratings. The highest is a superior, which is listed at a 1. Then it goes a 2, an excellent, a 3, fair. We've never gotten that low, so I don't really pay attention to what the lower ones are. But all you got to know is superior is the highest. So in choir, the larger groups, 3 of them received a superior rating and 1 an excellent rating. And then the kids also have the opportunity to then prepare solos or a small ensemble, so about 5 kids or less in a group. And those groups received 9 superior ratings and 1 excellent rating. And then on the band side of things, out of my 3 jazz bands, 1 received a superior, and then the 2 others received excellent ratings, although they were 1 point off from a superior. So I want to kind of count it, and I'm going to round it up anyway. And then my symphonic band received a superior rating. Our percussion ensemble, so just drums, received a superior rating. Then solo and small ensemble on the band side, I had 7 superiors and 3 excellents. So overall, really, really great results this year. A lot of the kids that have been up here already are also band and choir kids. And it's just cool to see how much, greatness is coming out of this and these kids and all that they participate in.
all right.
Thank you.
Outstanding. Good job. Next, recognition of the Expedition Academy State Art Fair students, Michelle Wickstrom. Michelle, welcome.
Sorry, I have short legs. Thank you for having me. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up about Expedition's trip to the symposium this year. We're a pretty small school. We took 7 pieces of artwork, and that's not a lot, but considering I have classes of between 4 and 10 children, that's not too bad. And our students are often there for credit recovery. So I have a lot of students that are there to get credit, not necessarily because they love art. So when I find a few artists, I'm usually pretty content to do our best. So this year, there were 67 schools in attendance at the State Art Symposium. There were 4,721 entries. There are a few people that have been to the State Art Symposium. I believe Mr. Castilian has been, Mr. Behringer came one year. It's a pretty impressive event. If you've ever been to the Casper Event Center, We pretty much fill that floor with art from one end to the other. So it's a big deal that I took 7 pieces of artwork and we brought home 1 ribbon. So Owen Calzada won a ribbon for his honeypot, which I am sorry I cannot bring to you because he was not going to let it out of his sight again. So it went home. But that's what we have for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Stice, welcome.
Hello. I'm tall. Okay, here we go. Hello, Chairman Core and Mr. Behringer and everybody else. I brought art kids with me today, and this year I had the idea for them to bring some artwork with them so you can see the awesome things they do in person. Got a little slideshow. I'm really thankful for Michelle because she said some things that now I don't have to say, so you don't have to hear me say it twice. So here's our stats. You heard about the schools. We had 73 blue ribbons this year. About 44% of our pieces received ribbons. So that means we took, what would we take, like 150-ish pots in paintings and drawings. The thing that I'm really proud of is the special awards that we received. Each year, a special panel of judges comes through and looks through all of those thousands of works and finds the 25 best pots and the 25 best drawings and paintings. Of the 25 best pots, we had 6 of those. So 6 out of 25 is a really good percentage. I'm not good at bragging, but here, I'm going to try. For the last 7 or 8 years, we've had by far and away the most congressional awards. So I'm really, really proud of that. Both are on the 3D side. 2D side, we've done well. This year we did exceptionally well because we had 3 of the 2D congressional awards, 2 going to Tyler Castillion. So that was really cool. His work is also going to be displayed in a representative's office over the summer. So that was cool. We had the First Lady comes through the show every year and she selects work to go in the governor's mansion. And Reagan, Tyler, and Riley Hawkins had work selected for that as well. So really, really cool. I think what happened with Tyler's stuff is the congressional person won out the work and they're all going to his office rather than so there was some tension there, which was cool. Here's some images of some of the stuff that we brought. Reagan is here. I've had one other person get 4 congressional awards, but that's a lot. That's a lot. So 4 out of the 25 out of the 4,000 some, hers just, they were shining, beautiful pots. She brought the jar that's on the right up there. Open the lid. It's so cool. Look at that. And it rattles. Yep. So cool. So I couldn't be any more proud of these guys. So here's Tyler's work at the show. Ray Barrett, I forgot to mention Ray. She also had a 2D congressional award. So this is us receiving the award at the awards banquet there. There's a couple more. Elena Epperson, Brianna Urag. Our students have really, really benefited, especially on the 3D side, from the BOCES grant. We bring in a visiting potter every year. And man, since we've started doing that, that's been the best thing I've done in my career is bringing those artists in. It's just raised the level each year of our work to, I used to say our kids were making college level work. This beyond that now, this is professional level work that they're making. They could sell these in any gallery in the country and do well for themselves. Here's some more. This Riley with her piece for the First Lady's Award. And then that's Reagan's bowls that were selected by the First Lady. So those are in Cheyenne right now. Here's what Miss Wickstrom was talking about. That's the floor of the event center. That's a lot of stuff. And I'm just proud that our work gets found every year. Every year the judging panel changes and each year our work gets found. So I think we're doing the right things. This was the visiting artist we had this year, Mike Strombros. He teaches at Southern Illinois. He's a Saluki and he came. So here's how it works. So these people, they will find this artist on Instagram. Look how cool this is. And then I'll start checking them out. I'm like, whoa, that is cool. And then I start following them and then I look a little bit more and then I track them down and I either get their phone number or message them on Instagram. And then it goes from there. It's just cool that we can get people from all over the country to come. So He worked with us for 2 days. This is some of his work. You can kind of see after you've seen these pots, kind of his influence on the students' work this year. So here's him in our studio. He was a lot of fun, really engaging for the students. Everyone was laughing the whole time. He had never been out west. So after our workshop, I took him down Firehole Canyon and he was just in awe. We saw deer, we saw all these animals, and he just loved it. So it was cool. So here's some of the pieces getting built. Oh, and a dog came and visited us too. Look. So the workshops are fun. The kids get out of class for 2 days and they get to come and be artists. So I just couldn't be prouder. Before I'm done, I need to introduce all my people. We've got Noah Sanchez on the end. Noah is a slip trailing person. So all that little detail line work, like on his pots, those little curly lines, he's really good at that. And my son, Garen Stice, he's kind of mixed media guy. He's got a teapot there with bronze handle and a bronze little knob. So that's really cool. Then I got Kira Molman. She's a painter and she's got some really cool animals. And she's really, this is her first year in my painting class. Oh, sorry. Then I've got Jordan Cudney, and she's got a beautiful teapot there. Then Reagan, you've already met her. And then Michaela Green and Kylie Miller. Aren't they cool? Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Bring that stuff up there. Let's get a picture, and if it's for sale, maybe we'll help you get it sold. So bring them. Right on down. There you go. That's good.
Good job. On the golf course, I think.
Yeah, good job.
Good job. Congratulations.
Nice. I already show up. Is he busy? What's the deal?
On the golf course.
Oh, he was. I saw him out there. That's where I was at.
It's
late.
Just like-
All right. Thank you, Shane, as usual. Good job. All right. That's our recognitions for tonight. Next, I need a motion to approve the agenda, and it looks like Mr. Foos, we need to add 10.14. Or was that advertised?
Was advertised as harassment, it needs to be discrimination.
Okay. So if the motion will include that little change in words, that'd be great. So I need a motion.
I'll motion to approve the agenda with the correction of 10.14 to read sexual discrimination complaint form.
Okay, need a second? Second. Okay, it's been moved by Tom, second by Dan to approve the agenda with that change. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Need a motion to approve consent agenda items. Moved by Brenda.
Second.
Second by Dave. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next, consider ratification of the interest-based negotiation agreement. Brian, welcome. Is this your final duty?
This is.
I'd give you a ribbon, but I don't have one.
Ah, dang it. Anybody got a ribbon out there? All right. Chairman Steve Core, Craig Behringer, Superintendent, and Board of Trustees. I'm here on behalf of the Green River Education Association to say that we had 99% of our members vote to ratify our negotiations, and we appreciate the great work that we did in negotiations. As always, it's pleasant to work with you all. And yes, this is my last duty. So woo!
All right, but just on behalf of the board, we appreciate the professionalism we had in the negotiations, and I wish we could do more, but it is what it is. But I think we did some good stuff.
Yes, and we're going to work hard on the Hill next year. So
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we're
Great.
going to try.
Okay. Great.
Thank you.
All right. I need a motion to approve the 24-25 IBN settlement.
Second.
Moved by Brenda, second by Ashley. Any discussion on this? Comments? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, here report on the Granger meet and greet. Who all went? It's been so long. Dan, did you go?
Yeah.
Dan, Mark, and me, and Dave. We went out there and met with the teacher and the custodian, and that was it, right? Yeah, yeah. So it was good. I believe they have 4 kids in Granger, can hold 16. I suspect with what's going to happen here in Sweetwater County in the next couple of years, we might have a full school out there. Should be great. All right, next discussion on the National School Boards Association dues. Craig is recommending we do not go with the NSBA and instead go with COSBA. Last year with the NSBA, the only thing we did was got our magazine every month, and it cost $4,165 for the magazine. So is everybody okay with just going with COSBA? Okay, we need a motion on that? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next, personnel, consider approval of the certified retirement request. Mr. Foos, Dr. Foos.
Thank you, Chairman Core, Superintendent Behringer, trustees. One retirement for your consideration tonight, Rick Carroll, science teacher, Green River High School, going to be missed dearly. I wish he was here to give a speech.
Yeah, I thought you think Cassidy's good at the microphone. You there, Carol. But yeah, he's great man there. I need a motion to approve Rick Carroll's retirement.
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by Tom, second by Ashley. Tom, would you like to add anything?
No, I think it's long overdue, man. He's due for a good break. He's given us district some serious service. over the
Yep.
years.
Good guy. I liked working with him over the years. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next, consider approval of the certified resignations request.
For your approval, you'll see above you Franklin Trey Bailey, Assistant Principal, Lincoln Middle School, Alex Bailey, Counselor, Truman Elementary, Brad Cox, Economics Teacher, Green River High School.
Okay, I need a motion, please, to approve those 3 resignations. Moved by Brenda,
Second.
second by Ashley. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next is the consider approval of the new certified contracts. Dr. Foos.
Thank you, Chairman Core. For your approval, Kendra Lewis, art teacher, Truman Elementary, Hayden Legursky, halftime STEM teacher, Truman Elementary, Jessica Poliski, special ed teacher, Green River High School, Rhett Del Rey, science teacher, Green River High School, Crystal Davis, special education teacher, Lincoln Middle School. And for the Board of Trustees, I have one add-on, Sydney Hooten, Lincoln Middle School, assistant principal.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation. I need a motion, please.
I'll motion to approve. I'll second.
Moved by Tom, second by Dan to approve the certified contracts for Kendra Lewis, Hayden Legursky, Jessica Pulaski, Rhett Dilry, Crystal Davis, and Sydney Hooten. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next on the agenda is consider approval of the certified sick leave bank. Consider approval of the certified internship request. Dr. Foos?
You can see in your board docs, Jamie Olson is working towards her administrative credentials and would like to complete an internship in the next year to follow. You can see her letter, and thank you for your consideration.
And you have seen in the booklet that she has signed and agreed to this, so I need a motion to approve.
I'll motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Tom to approve, second by David. Any discussion on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, approval of the certified sick leave bank request. Dr. Foos.
Chairman Core, I do not have a sick bank request tonight, so we will be going right on past that one.
Okay, thank you. Next, your presentation on Harrison Special Programs. Mr. Lake, I saw you walking in the room. Good thing you brought help. That was a positive comment, Steve. That wasn't negative.
Believe me, and this is the team to have on your back. So, Chairman Core, Superintendent Behringer, Board of Trustees, we'd like to take just a few minutes of your time tonight and share with you. We have the privilege to host 2 special education programs at our school, the Life Skills Program and Total Care. And we have some incredible people that work in those programs for these students. I know as a district, we allocate a lot of resources, and so we thank you for that. But it's, as hopefully you'll see, the work that these people do, the amount of people it takes, the equipment, the money, is worth it, so that all kids can have a quality education. So I'm going to turn the time over to them to share a little bit about what they do every day for kids.
Okay, I'm Casey Raza. I'm the life skills teacher. I don't know what. There we go. The life skills program is for specialized placement for students with disabilities. We work a lot on functional academics, their everyday life skills that they will need for their future, self-care, vocational, mathematics, money management, and independence. Most of these I just put in. I wanted to see you to show how my room is set up. We're very fortunate to have such a big area in my room, which really facilitates the learning of these students. We also have a little sensory area in our room that they're able to have scheduled breaks, which really helps them learn more, as well as spots for like OT and speech to come in and push in services. We do cook. We work on safety skills there, as well as some play skills as well. And then some communication wall and area of expectations, just so everyone in the room knows exactly what's going on and what the kids need. And communication is our main focus. Just as a lot of these kids are nonverbal or limitedly verbal, it's very important for us to work on those skills. And then they have schedules, which are very tailored to what they need at that time where they're at, helps them be independent in their life. And Snoozland area, also very fortunate for us. Our children love it, gives them a great place to calm down or get their energy out. And then we are also out in the community a lot. So we're teaching them how to behave in all of these situations, how to be in class parties, order at a restaurant, all that sort of stuff.
Hi, thanks for having us tonight. I'm Lisa Carroll. I am in charge of the Total Care Program. We support in our classrooms, I won't read it. First of all, I can't see that far. Second of all, then it's in front of you, but we support the severe, profound students in our room who have multiple physical and cognitive disabilities. And one among our goals is their physical and skin health care. And so we have a lot, go ahead and flip. She's my flipper, awesome. Or clicker, whatever. Anyway, we have a lot of equipment in our room that supports and facilitates them being in different varying positions throughout the day to support their skin health and then get them in different situations where they can work switches. You can see one of our students, they have the switches. Part of our students, we want them to have the most independence that they can. They rely on us completely to take care of all of their needs and to anticipate their needs. And so the least restrictive environment and the most independence they have looks much different than in Casey Raz's room. But we try to offer that. Go ahead and click. But we have a little room you saw, and then other equipment that I could name. But I want you to come and visit our classroom and see what you're doing, because it's for us, because it's so amazing in there. But and then our girls on this left picture use switches as well. That cause and effect. If I hit the switch, it says that I'm hungry, I need another bite, I want a drink. We can set that up to say anything that we need to help them learn. And then on the right, we're working on musculature strength, the skeletal strength, one of our students, and then she can work switches to talk with us, to have music, to watch and interact with the iPad or other New Line, other programs that we have. Okay, one click, I think. This also gets them, this is a tummy support bench. And so this gets our students in a position where that they can work their digestive system. I mean, we're like basic, even more basic, some of those things and needs for our students than, like I said, life skills. And then this on the right is our HOPSA system. It's the solo step track system, and it's mounted to the ceiling. And so you see that our kids fit in a harness, and it allows them the ability to be upright. It is a pre-walking piece of equipment, and the track system runs in a circle throughout both sides. One side is a full circle and one is a half, and it gives them access to the counter when we do our switch work for our cooking activities, or playing games. We have switches and things to help them play games. That lets them be upright and in a standing position. Miss Kinley will move herself around that track, and it's meant to be a pre-walking, reciprocating step system that helps them just see what it's like to be upright other than the standing frame. And then we also have, it gives them access to the new line, and we have some cool wall light boxes and things that would be in the snoozling room that we have on our wall as well to support them. I think that, oh yeah. So you see how we set up the games with the spinners, and then one of our students has leg length disparity. So she needs very specific and very personalized leg wedges to support her structure as she lays. And so that is something you help us with. And then get them on their stomachs. They don't do a lot of tummy time at home. And so Miss Kinley is on her stomach and has opportunities to play and do things like that. Okay, I think that's my last click. Yep. So thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
Oh.
How do I work the clicker? First of all. Oh, okay. This side. Got it, guys. Oh.
You got me. I got Nathan. How do we click? Okay.
I made it scare you away.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Brown. I'm fortunate enough to work in the life skills programs, total care programs from kindergarten all the way through the high school. So I get to see these kids and work with these kids from the time they come in until they leave us in that post-secondary program when they turn 21. So we work with an amazing team. We're so fortunate. We have all these people all the way through the district, all the way through the high school and that post-secondary program. My main focus when I come in with these kiddos, you can see just from the pictures, they all have different access to communication. Some very little, up to our verbal kiddos that are going out in the work environment, those kind of things. So the picture here just kind of talks about or gives you an idea of some of the different devices we have. The very bottom corner there on the right, that comes more for the total care kids. They have visual issues. A lot of the kids have hearing issues, so they get to use objects. They can feel it, they can touch it, they can use their body to know what it is. The other one's pictures. We have a little switch in the center. Those are the things that Lisa was talking about where we can record a message. She does a great job. Kiddos get to send the switch back and forth from home to school, and those kids get to say to their parents what they did throughout the day, which if you think about being a parent of a kiddo who can't talk, how cool is that? And then parents record it and they send it back, and we get to know what they did at home too. So super cool. We work mainly on functional communication. That's those basic skills. Being able to let you know, I need to use the restroom, I'm hungry, I'm uncomfortable, those kind of things, building up to full communication if we get there. You all received the slides. So if you get a chance to watch those videos on there, each one's just a little snippet of our kids using the different kind of devices. So several of them are using iPads, and in that you get to see one kiddo who's just starting basic. She sees a picture, she finds a picture, she pushes the device. Moving up to our last video. Oh, and then I clicked the wrong thing. Do I just keep clicking? Maybe not. Anyways. Oh. So the next 3 videos, I did six videos. Just examples, we have examples of what it's like in calendar time and how they can use the communication device. So it's an app on the iPad, they push a picture, it speaks. There was a video on there of a young lady who were doing a task and she needs a glue stick. And you get to see where she moved from last year of just pushing one button to making a complete sentence of saying, I need a glue stick, please. And then the last video on there is a young man who went up to Lincoln this year. So he's been using the device for several years. And when you watch that video, if you haven't watched it already, he it's amazing to see him go through the pages. As you watch the video, you see him pausing a couple times. He's on the wrong page. He realizes he's on the wrong page, has to go back to another page to find it. And what he asks is he wanted some broccoli, and he named the person that he wanted to ask for it. But we went from using just the basic thing of asking for one thing to making a complete sentence. And when we look at it at this age, we're talking about functional communication again. So not grammatically correct, but he got his point across. And we're just so grateful to be able to work together and support these kids and give them access to communication, because we all know how important that is. So thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys, let's see if I know how to work this now. There we go. Now that I know how to work it, I'm Jordan Swinson. I'm one of 2 occupational therapy assistants here in the district. So just wanted to give everybody a little bit of a rundown on kind of what I do and how I kind of support multiple schools here in the district. Often I get questions, what do you do? What does an occupational therapist do? So I think this is my opportunity to kind of share that with you guys. I often get, do you help people get jobs? That is not what I do. That's kind of a little part of it, but it's kind of nice I'm able to explain these things. So occupational therapists and OTAs focus on things you want and need in your everyday life. I like to think of it as physical therapy helps you get from point A to point B. I help you do stuff while you're at point A or point B. For example, here in the school district doing different things with kids regarding, different life activities, fine motor activities and things of their liking. Um, so like I mentioned before, here's a few just pictures I have of some kids that we're learning those different skills we can use in our everyday life. And these manipulation skills, a lot of handwriting stuff as well is something that I like to address with kids. And it actually helps with those daily living skills as well. So I use these activities to help with zipping up your jacket, your backpack, and things like that, just so they can participate in these different activities in class, at home, and in different environments as well. Here's a few other pictures. As Miss Brown, Jennifer mentioned, it's really nice to work with everybody as we are a good cohesive unit. I believe that we kind of understand each other really good, so that kind of helps the overall experience as an OTA. This far left picture, during football season, I love football, so we made little footballs and kind of used our hands and manipulated different tools and stuff like that for the kids. The right picture is a kid that we're all familiar with in the program, using a stander. Again, using different equipment so this kid can access those different activities and things that he likes as well. Working with total care as well, using all of those different equipment and all that stuff is really fun to see, as well as just the different paras and everybody else that's kind of coming together to make sure we're reaching the needs of these kids. So again, I'd like to thank you guys for this opportunity. My first year here in the district has been nothing short of amazing, so I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate it.
So, hi, I'm Thomas Bollinger. I'm the district's adaptive physical educator. For my job basically is I help kids with disabilities adapt and give them what they need to help them be successful in a PE environment. I'm lucky enough to travel throughout the district. I work at almost every school this year. I get to work with these wonderful people. They've been my biggest supports the 3 years I've been here. It's been truly awesome. For me, like saying I get to travel throughout the districts. I'm the fun teacher. When they kids see me, they get to come swimming. We get to go down to the island once a week and do the pavilion and work on some gymnastics and do a movement class. And then they also get to come into the APE OT room where we have a swing set up. We have a new line where they can do fun games on our board or anything like that. During like our seasonal holidays, the picture down on the left side is a turkey that the kids got to make during an obstacle course. Like saying it's been really just so much fun, especially, and I get to work with all the other people, like the people down at the swimming pool, all the lifeguards. Rachel's group is always fantastic, getting the kids from point A to B. Yeah, and like, I also get to work with all the grades. So K through 21, they come see me. And the rec center also has set up where we get to go down to the pavilion and we get to work with all the equipment that's there. What else? But yeah, that's basically my job in a nutshell. I get to work with Lisa's group too. They come everywhere they go. They could come swimming with us twice a week in the therapy pool that's heated to, what is it? Anybody know? It's heated up to like 80 degrees. So it's like sitting in a nice hot tub. They get to relax in there and have a good time. And then I'm gonna hand it over to Yolanda.
Thank you. Welcome.
My name is Yolanda Crowder. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and registered play therapist. There's a lot of play going on in the counseling office at Harrison. It's one way that we deliver counseling services to our students. Why do we do play? Because not all kids have the language to communicate back and forth like you and I. So the toys are their words and the play is their language. Which one is it? Top left. So. There are some very powerful therapeutic powers in play. It's amazing what kind of skills that they're able to develop when they are given the opportunity to play. Some of those things are they learn mastery skills, they learn what else? Trust, creativity, problem solving, emotional regulation. Not a requirement to communicate verbally, but it creates a space, a safe place for them to be able to test their skills, their verbal skills. And the biggest one is it gives them a boost of self-esteem. The other thing that they have access to is small individual or small group counseling, and it's called Eagle's Nest. It's a special that we offer at Harrison. And so the students are able to come there. We help them develop their self-awareness, and we use the zones of regulation. That's what you're seeing up there. That also helps them, we help to build their emotional vocabulary, teach them coping strategies, and we give them lots of opportunities during the day to practice those. And then we're going to move on, promoting Disability Awareness Month. So these are the last of our slides for our presentation. And do you want to flip through these? So we had a number of, let me pull out my notes. We promoted disability awareness during the month of March, and we had a number of presenters come to our school. We had Dustin Shilcox, Jacob Galvin, Alyssa Davis, Joe Renfro, and then our own Jennifer Brown, Stephanie Johnson, and Lisa Carroll. And so during that month, these individuals gave presentations to our students, and the impact that those presentations had on our students was amazing. We were able to really bridge the gap between our special program students and our general ed students, and it's been wonderful to see them really connect and watch that relationship grow. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Jen, and she's going to talk a little bit more specifically about the activities. I'll try to make it like that. Yeah.
So we had the opportunity as the speech staff to be able to work with each classroom in Harrison Elementary. They came to us and spent a half hour with us. And so the picture that you see here, if you look on right in the middle, you can see it's called a core communication board. On that are a whole bunch of different pictures, and each picture related to a game. And then in the back far right corner, you can see the young lady that's got the twister spinner. She has some little cards in her hands. And so the kids were instructed through the entire time that they were with us that they couldn't talk at all. So they had to play these games. So here, the instructor was she had a picture of body parts and colors. And so she'd hold those up from what the spinner said. The kids had to watch it. And then if they had other comments or anything, they could use that core communication board to play the game. And then the next picture, we were able to break them up in groups. They got to play the game Pop the Pig, and Yeti and My Spaghetti, same thing, core boards. And the entire time they were not allowed to speak a word. They had to figure out how to work through that game using those pictures. And it was so neat to watch them all work together and how much they learned in that. And then the next slide, the young man who's walking around, they're playing Duck, Duck, Goose. He's holding the switch. So again, that what I talked about where they get to send the message back and forth between schools, same thing. This one has a little different function. You can record 2 different messages and it can go back and forth. So he hits the switch once, says duck. He goes around until he's ready to say goose. He hits the switch twice, it says goose. And then they were able to play the game. So again, examples of what our kids and our school experience every day, and these kids got to go in and live it. And it's just been amazing. And then we had Jacob come and instruct sign language. We had Joseph come and talk about Joseph Renfro, who, so Jacob is deaf. So he was able to come in and kind of talk about what it's like to have a hearing loss, how to navigate, and he instructed every kiddo in the school on sign language. Joseph came and talked to everybody about what it's like to live with a disability and how you work through those kind of things. So it's just been amazing. And we're so grateful for you allowing us and continuing to provide us with these tools to work with these kids, because without it, their access to the world would be so much less than it is. So thanks for letting us stand before you tonight. And
Any questions from the board? Dr. Demery, I would encourage you to possibly next March, consider doing this piece at the Lunch and Learn for the chamber. I don't think people in this town really know what goes on in our district with these children. And I think we should. I don't know what else to say. Outstanding.
we'd love to have you anytime. Come and see what we do and all the equipment and meet the kids.
It's amazing. Very amazing. You guys are amazing people. Thank you very much. Okay, before we move on to the out for bid, I need a motion to approve Colton Legursky, Assistant Principal at Lincoln.
Motion to approve.
It just wasn't on the list. Moved by Brenda, second by Dave. Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. There you go, Mr. Foos. All right, next is to consider approval to go out to bid for oil, gas, and fluids. Rachel, welcome.
Good evening.
Thank you for
Chairman
coming
Core.
tonight. Appreciate it.
You guys are amazing, by the way. You guys do great stuff. Absolutely. So good evening, Chairman Core, Superintendent Behringer, and Board of Trustees. It's that time of year that we need to request authorization to solicit for bids for fuel, oil, and DEF, and the antifreeze for our department.
Okay, need a motion, please?
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by Tom, second by Brenda to approve to go out to bid for the oil, gas, and fluids. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate it. Next, consider approval of the RFP results for the McKinnon parking lot.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr.
Chairman.
Hamel, welcome.
Board. If you remember last month, we asked for permission to go to bid. You have before you the bid results. I think there they are. Recommendation R&B sweeping out of Rock Springs.
Okay, I need a motion, please.
I'll motion to approve R&D sweeping out of Rock Springs, $56,430.
Second.
Moved by Tom, second by Dave. Any discussion? Those who went out to McKinnon got to kind of see what they're talking about. So this is good stuff and it needed.
It is.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, consider approval of the RFP results, consider approval for Lincoln Middle School air conditioning upgrade. Mr. Hamel.
So both recommendations 9093, 94 are recommendations out of facility committee. First one is got in the 6th grade part of Lincoln, we have about a 20-year-old air conditioner that's coming down to the end of its life. What we do have is we got a little bit of room in the new chiller that we put in a few years ago. Rather than put in a new air conditioner, this is to switch it over to chilled water for cooling.
So basically it'll cool the whole
Whole
building as
building.
opposed to a couple sections.
Sure will.
Okay, I need a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, moved by Brenda, second by Ashley to air conditioning upgrade at Lincoln Middle School and Johnson Controls.
Yes.
For
Sole
80
source.
Huh?
Sole source.
Yeah, for $86,900. Any discussion? This did go through facilities and we did get an opportunity to go over and look at the kitchen area and get a general idea what they're talking about. So any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next, consider approval to go out for an RFQ for a construction manager at risk for the Washington Elementary.
So a couple of months ago, we asked for permission or asked for approval for professional services for the Washington elevator. This is to bring the contractor on as that design process starts, and that way there's no surprises.
Okay, so quickly, just tell the board CMAR, what's that mean?
Construction manager at risk. In other words, this guy, the responsibility he has is to the district, not to compared to the old design bid build process. This makes everyone work together.
Okay.
It allows everybody to work together more freely.
Okay, and we will have this result in July or June?
Next month.
Okay. And will this go through the facilities? It will, won't it?
This did go through the facilities.
Well, we haven't seen any proposals.
You're
for
right. You're right.
CMAR.
Yes.
The facilities will
Yes.
get this. Okay.
Yep.
Right. Right. Did we make a motion? I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Ashley, second by Dave. Any questions on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Next, consider approval of debt service and capital project fund amendments. Chris, welcome.
Chairman Corr, Superintendent Behringer, and trustees, I'm presenting an amendment for the debt service fund. And what happened here is we received some delayed tax collection relative to debt service in this year. And we did not anticipate that. And those funds were transferred into our aquatic center accounts. And they will be designated for use on either maintenance and repair of the pool.
Okay. This
And-
is typical. It happens.
Yes, and there may be more coming next year, but we really don't find out until it shows up.
Okay.
So that's in the amount of 63,937. And if it's okay, I'll move on to the capital projects amendment as well.
Yes. We can do them together.
Okay.
Yeah.
The capital projects proposed amendment is a mirror image amendment of the rec board amendment. This project, the aquatic center timing system and video board, will actually go through our capital projects fund and be funded by the rec board. So that this is to get it started before July 1st.
Okay. And that also went through facilities. So I need a motion, please. It'll include the debt service and capital project fund amendments.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Brenda, second by Ashley. Any discussion, thoughts on this? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Next, consider approval of the preliminary budget for 24-25. Chris.
Okay, thank you. Just to spin off of our earlier talk in March regarding the budget, we talked about the priorities for our budget this year in maintaining a competitive position for retention and recruitment of employees, maintaining the service levels that we provide to students that has been afforded to us by our ESSER grants, handling our inflationary impacts, including utilities, property and liability insurance, supplies, and an employer injury liability insurance policy. Dealing with the continuing decrease that we're experiencing in our student average daily membership and the loss in funding of closing Tolman School that will happen this year. And as we transition from the loss of ESSER funding, or the finalization of the ESSER funding, I should say, and getting back into a normal funding cycle. We are utilizing our model funding, which we received an external cost adjustment. We did receive an increase in our special ed reimbursement and our transportation reimbursement. And we have decreases in the way of a loss of 34 ADM for next year and the loss of the Tolman School. So in utilizing the model funding, we were able to, and you just approved it tonight, our IBN agreement, an overall 5.5% increase. That includes the salaries, the benefits, and the health insurance. In that package, our health and dental insurance premiums had increases, as you know. Utilizing grant funding, and this is something that we're going to be doing over a couple of years. We did receive the Wyoming Stronger Connections grant. It's a 2-year grant. It keeps our family counselor program going through 2026. The TIS Community Grant is a 4-year grant. It allows us to do school mental health services, and this grant started in this past year and it will end in December of 2026. And then we've got the UW Ride grant, which is a 2-year grant ending in June of 2025 that's helping us with the ride program. So those are time-limited grants, but they are here to help us in the immediate future. So the other savings that we did, attritional savings, and this was really important to the board and to the administration that we were able to do this as painlessly as possible. But we were able to reduce 5 teaching positions, one half administrative position and 3.5 support positions. All the positions are being assessed as we go, but that's where we're at right now. And also in this transition, we're going to be utilizing our cash reserves. For this next year, we'll be utilizing it in the way of a nutrition services subsidy of $200,000, and also to help us with a curriculum adoption of $750,000. And the curriculum adoption will be a multi-year cycle, with a goal of returning to our 15% limit requirement by June 30th of 2027. Currently, our reserve is predicted to be at 23.7% of our guarantee on June 30th of this year. This year's budget will bring it to 20% by June 30th of 2025. That'll be an ongoing process that you'll work on. We have preliminary assessed valuation numbers. The district's assessed valuation had a very slight increase of 4.4%, and the county valuation actually decreased by 8.8%. This affects, the revenues that come in, and whether or not we, in our case, we are now a recapture district. We've been a recapture district now going on for 3 years. This is a little history of what our recapture payment has been. So, and this is due to the tax collections. The local tax collections are doing very well based on the minerals that we have in Green River, mainly trona. I did want to just give you an outlook on the enrollment, and this could look 100 different ways, but just straight up looking at enrollment, rolling the kids up that we currently have and looking at the number of kindergartners that we're having coming in on an annual basis, which is dropping a little bit each year. The enrollment looks like it's going to go down over the next 5 years. The things that are not in here is, if we were to get more kindergartners come in on an annual basis, that would be one thing. Or people moving in based on economics. Those factors are not in here. So just know that this is a straight up thing and just be aware that it could be going down, or it could come up if things change in the economy. So here we are to the proposed budget. The total on the proposed budget is $59,485,688. And that covers all of our funds. The mill levies are set, are going to be requested as they were in past years. Nothing's changed on that. As far as budget highlights go, the general fund budget, the expense side increased by $3,068,044. $950,000 of that is coming from the cash reserves for those 2 items that I mentioned. And significantly, the special revenue fund, which is our grant fund, it decreased by $2.3 million, and that's with the completion of the ESSER funds. I just want to thank our central administrative team for, I mean, we've been talking about budget since August, I think. They're probably tired of it by now, honestly. But we've been talking about it and they've been, everybody's been working their brains to make this happen. And I think it's come together. I thank the principals and supervisors. They all had a hand in this. And were thoughtful about what we could do to make this transition. So I thank all of you guys for your leadership and your thoughtful contributions to this year's budget. Thanks to the board, you helped us do it. And thanks to my business team. Couldn't do it without them. And thanks for the work they're about to do with this budget. So anyway, with that, I ask for your approval for the preliminary budget.
Any questions, Chris, on this? If the public has any thoughts on the reserves and all of that, they can call me and I'll tell you what's going on. I don't really want to go on a dissertation on it, but so anyway, I need a motion to approve the preliminary budget, please.
Motion to approve the budget as presented.
Second. Moved by Tom, second by Dave to approve the preliminary budget. Any discussion further? All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Chris, thank you. One other thing. The final payment for the premium pay will be Friday. Certified teachers, $1,000. Support staff will be based on their pay. 10-month administrators, 1113, 11-month administrators, 1188, and 12-month administrator supervisors, 1333. That's half of the year. And that'll be our final premium pay. And I think it's my obligation as the chairman of the board to commend the board of trustees for doing what we did with this money. And I think it was well done. So, okay, with that, we'll move on. Next, consider approval of the student council monetary request for summer leadership camp. Marissa, are you still with us? Okay.
Chairman Corey, Superintendent Behringer, and Board of Trustees. My name is Marissa DeClerc. I am the Student Council Advisor, if all of you didn't already know that. I have Haley Luth here with me. She is on my exec board next year, and was just voted in, and she would like to talk to you about summer leadership camp. So, Haley. Thanks.
Welcome, Haley.
Thank you for having me.
Bet.
If you don't already know, my name's Haley Luth, and I'm also the student body secretary for this next school year. This summer, Lily Janota and I and Ellie Mandros are going to attend the Wyoming State Student Council's summer leadership camp in July, and we are asking the school board for help in paying for the leadership camp. The camp costs $300 per person, so we are looking at paying $900 for all three of us to go. We will be fundraising this summer as well to help with funding, but we would appreciate any help you could give us. So thank you for your consideration.
So you only have 3 students going?
We have 3 students going. It changed from what I said.
So this is
originally.
not what's on the board.
Yeah, no, that was.
You can't
what
throw
I said.
curveballs like this at me.
I'm sorry.
Come on,
but
I
now
had this
you
all
give
figured
us
out.
Less money.
It is less money.
You're welcome, Steve.
I need a motion to approve 525. We typically give 175 for each kid out of the board discretionary funds.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by Brenda, second by Ashley. And before we discuss this, we still have, according to Katie, about $1,500 in our board discretionary. So we're still we're in the black. So, all right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. There you go, Haley.
Oh, thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay. Next on our agenda is consider approval of new policy ACA-R-E1, witness disclosure form, second reading. Dr. Foos.
Thank you, Chairman Cord, Superintendent Behringer, trustees. It's pretty self-explanatory on these first 2, just forms that someone could fill out if there's an issue going on. So thank you.
What's the board's pleasure on this?
Motion to approve the policy as presented on second reading.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, moved by Brenda, second by Tom. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, consider approval of new policy. That'll go through a third reading next month.
That is
Cons-
correct.
Consider approval of the new policy ACA-R-E2, sex harassment complaint form, second reading. What's the pleasure of the board?
I'll motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Moved by Tom, second by Dave. Any questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That'll be third reading next month. Next one is delayed. We go down to 10.09. Consider approval of new policy ADB, drug-free schools, second reading. Dr. Foos.
Thank you, Chairman Core. As you see on the first reading, this is a policy our district haven't had in this section. And so thank you for your consideration for the second reading.
And this went through the whole process,
Yes, it
Super
did.
8, all that. Okay, need a motion, please.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Dan, second by Ashley. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, approval of new policy ADC, tobacco-free schools, second reading.
Thank you for consideration. Again, the administrative side, you see lots of redundancies in the J's and the G's, but this one has to be inserted in the administrative side as well.
Okay. Need a motion, please?
I'll motion to approve.
Okay, moved and seconded, moved by Tom, seconded by Brenda to approve the new policy ADC tobacco-free schools. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, consider approval of new policy ADD, unsafe school choice options, second reading.
Thank you, Chairman Core. As Superintendent Behringer mentioned a month ago, tied into funding really doesn't make sense in a rural community like ours, but the policy is a must and you see it as a second reading.
Okay, need a motion, please?
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by Tom, second by Dave. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we go down to 10.14, consider approval of new policy ACA-R-E3, sex discrimination complaint form. It's a pleasure of the board.
Motion to approve as presented.
Moved by Brenda, second by David to approve this on first reading. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Next, superintendent board comments. Let's start with Brenda.
Thank you. It's been a busy month. We had graduation, which was wonderful at both schools. So thank you so much for all the behind the scenes that went into that. I want to give a special thank you to Officer Hemphill. I really enjoyed the trainings that he sent us throughout the year. They have helped me to understand some of the things that are going on that maybe we need to be real careful about. So much to recognize with all of our kiddos, but also special thank you to parent volunteer Miss Kuros and Miss Clements, Miss Fotheringham. I hope I get all these right. Miss Gilmore and Miss Horn. I was able to participate in a race across America with the fifth graders from Harrison and Monroe. And it was so much fun. Not talk about bringing the business community and the school district community together. It was great. The weather could have been a little bit better, but we had 15 businesses that participated with these kids and they went out of their way to make it a fun experience for them. And hitching posts, I didn't get any pictures of hitching posts, but they did this great thing because families come in and they bring their whole family and they make a mess. And this waitress had me and Pam Nicholson was my helper. We had to put all the stuff out on the floor and then she's put chocolate syrup on the white table, and gave them buckets and they had to clean it up without breaking a dish and making a mess themselves. And then they had to set the table because there was family waiting. And so it was just a lot of fun. And I just thank the businesses and I think all those people that helped put it together and we had lunch in the snow. So thank you. That's
All right, thanks. Tom, you got something?
Yeah. So first of all, there's a special place in heaven for those who deal in the total care room. If you haven't had a chance to get over there and see exactly what they do, I would encourage all the board members to go by Harrison and get a good idea because it's very humbling exactly what goes on there. So hats off to Steve and Alan Demeray for what you put into that. Another hats off to Alan and Anne Marie. Look through the curriculum and PD for next year. Great job. Great job. That puts us in alignment for accreditation in 25-26. So that's a step in the right direction. So thanks for all your work there. Darren Hestup and Ralph. Graduations were amazing. Went off without a hitch. The guy with the hearing problem, the air horns are not all that great, but you can't do anything about that, but it's just the way it is. But graduations were awesome. And then lastly, hats off to whoever was involved in this, Darren, Tony, Doug, and anybody else. If you get a chance, go check out the trophy room at Green River High School. That is amazing, what they've got done there. So now if we can just find all the trophies, we'll be all right.
Okay, got it, Tom. Ashley.
Wow, that this year went by fast. I just wanted to thank Tori Hemphill for all the hard work she does with the NHS. I got to go to the NHS banquet where they recognize people who have influenced their lives, and I love that banquet because you see a whole wide variety of community members, teachers, administrators, coaches, and how they've influenced these kids' lives. And I just kept thinking the thing that kept coming across was just that they noticed them in a time that they needed to be noticed, and they took a personal love of them. And so thank you to everyone, because I know it goes across from everybody, and that's why our district is so great, because everyone cares about these kids, and there's somebody out there for each of these kids that can touch their lives. So thank you to everyone, and I hope everyone has a great summer.
Is it summertime?
Should be.
All right.
Hopefully.
I got a couple of things and we'll just keep going down the line here. I want to congratulate the 04 football team, the 04-05 cheer team, the late great Bob Maddox and Richard Smith being inducted into the Green River Hall of Fame. 13th and 14th of September, I believe, are the dates. And Jason Foose promises that his 04 football team will show up in full force. It's your job to recruit those guys back here. You're the one that led them there. So anyway, and you know, she's not a Hall of Famer, but we lost a really good one a couple of weeks ago or 10 days ago. Former longtime school teacher in Green River, and she also served a term on the city council. Mary Ortega passed away, and most people here in this room remember Mary, and she's going to be missed. She was a good one. Good luck to the softball teams in Gillette tomorrow, or the softball team in Gillette tomorrow. They snuck in last night when Kelly Walsh gave us a gift and lost. So they'll play tomorrow against Gillette. The state track and field teams will be in action Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Casper. And the state soccer tournament's right here in Green River. The Green River girls will play at 2:00 at Wolf Stadium. The boys will play up at Green River High School at 4:00. I asked Tony why that is, and it's the state that sets the schedule in the fields. Just doesn't make any sense to me that we don't have a doubleheader at Wolf Stadium, but the state set the schedule. And just so you know, the Green River boys are pretty excited about playing up at that field at Green River High School. And Rock Springs varsity boys soccer team will play on the junior high. So they didn't get to move to the high school stadium either. Also, we had third graders that came to Washington, or third graders from Washington came to City Hall the other day, and our engineering department taught them how to make a city. Kind of interesting. One of the questions is, you have a river running through the town, and the kid was asked, how are you going to get from this side of the river to that side of the river? You know, obviously the answer is a bridge. He said, we'll just paddle boat across. I guess you could do that. I was also taking part in what Brenda was talking about at City Hall. That was a lot of fun with the Harrison and Monroe kids. I want to thank Dave Mead at the Sweetwater County Library or Museum for doing History Day. You may have noticed the teepees, and I guess Rock Springs and Green River kids take part in that. So with that, also, I got to say goodbye to Trey Bailey. Trey, thanks for your service in the district. 10 years, headed back to North Carolina. I guess once a Tar Heel, always a Tar Heel. But you got a little poke in you now, don't you? All right. Good luck to you and your family. Thanks for your service. And again, I'll echo what you guys said about Green River and Expedition Academy graduations. Outstanding. And I want to thank this board. In the last month, this board of trustees have had an April board meeting. We met with the Granger folks. We contract negotiated with the GREA and our employees. We attended 2 graduation ceremonies. We have a board meeting tonight. And I want to thank all of you guys for your service, because that is a lot of volunteer time. I appreciate it. Berenger.
Very good. I went to the Green River Chamber of Commerce Lunch and Learn today, and Janessa Meredith was there, and the soccer tournaments that are coming to town will bring in $6 million into Green River and Rock Springs. The last 3 million last year, and about 3 million this year. And there were a couple motels that normally aren't packed this time of year. They're sold out. So great job of getting that tournament here, and we're excited to host 16 teams in Green River tomorrow and through Saturday. So good luck, Tony.
All right. Yeah, good luck, Tony. Dave?
In addition to what you said, Steve, there's not only those meetings, but there's committee meetings and other board meetings that are
Well, I
almost every day during the.
I get to spend tomorrow morning for a couple of hours with the lawyers about the lawsuit.
Have fun.
Preparing for my testimony in June and in the capital city. So I got a couple more hours to go and then my week will be over.
We'll be cheering you on.
Thanks.
I can't wait a few hours in the school year will be done. Congratulations, everybody. Thanks for all your work. Appreciate everything that you do, and everybody else summed it up.
Yep. All right. Dan.
Same thing. A lot of you guys summed it up already. Graduations are great. Mr. Obrey, keep up the good jokes. The Skilled USA art and everything else, that's really popular with me. Great job and all that stuff. And then everything else everybody else said everything.
All right, Mark. I know you got something to add.
No, thanks for your hard work and have a great summer.
Yeah, I agree. All right, with that, I will adjourn the meeting. Thanks for your attendance tonight. Appreciate it.